I had a thought, and one of my thoughts was, hold on a second. 1 second, I got it. I don't drink, okay? I would like to have a couple of drinks, but can't drink and do my work and feel 100% when I know my work is not 100%. But I also know that if I drink, I'm going to be able to go off into that other world. Don't you think that's why they call it spirit? Because it makes you go into a different world? Maybe it's because when we drink this stuff, what actually happens is it breaks the spirit matrix that's connected to us. That's why we feel so sick. We're no longer connected to that system. We're like on a drug right now. With that system all around us, you don't feel it, you don't see it. And that's another question. Breathe. Do you see it going in your mouth? Do you see it coming out? So what more do I have to say? I believe underneath the grounds, they have distorted all our communication for us to properly receive the earth as soul and spirit meet. Don't forget, we are part of the light, and that light has been chopped up because this earth has been chopped up between left, right, and center, the same way as matrix. It only follows the matrix ways. Don't forget, without science, we don't live 90 years. You'll live 60, 50, 40 years, and you'll die. What's the difference? Another 30 more or another 30 less. If you're not working to help anybody in this world, well, then what's the use of anything? You're just going to be part of the system in another number. As long as you can keep yourself happy, you're going to work the system and build the roads that I'm going to drive on. You're going to put up the signs that I'm going to see. So you're doing something for me without even knowing it. You're playing an ordinary, whatever job it is a lot more than anything. People can't see how it is to stuff something into a bottle for $9 an hour. That's retarded. In this matrix system, because 0 in my mind is 15, and one of the reasons is because of blackjack. Every time you get a blackjack, you get 1.5 times as much. Why is that? Because we reconnected our mind to the soul, 4 and 6 equaling to 10, or is it 2 and 8, mind and soul? Because 2 is up and 8 is down. Again, I can get into so many different things with that. Anybody that wants to say to me that there's no ocean in the sky, well, when it rains in California for 3 weeks straight, the water keeps coming down, where the hell is it coming from? If it ain't in the sky, what, it's being held up there by a cloud? What the hell can a cloud do? It's the air that does it all. It's inside the air. There's some kind of light or electricity. They can never stop the light. It goes right into our bones. Anyways, I wanted to leave it short, and I'm a little unhappy. Because since basically the beginning, I started doing these YouTubes, one of the population I do want to hit are the women. They'll think it out a little bit longer. That's the way I see it. I see the men have been in the workforce, grinding it out, pushing their way, and the women have been in the workforce, but they've been in their house. If they needed to take a 2-minute break, no one was going to say anything to him. They didn't go through the same stress as going to a real job. Now, wait a second. Now, all the women are mad at me. Housework is a real job. I've been alone for the last 12 years. And let me tell you one thing. I can never catch up. So I can't catch up, and you take care of your house 10 times better than me. I understand you can't catch up. You get the blood flowing, you can't catch up. So boom, bang, out of the blue, now you got ketchup and tomatoes, rotten tomatoes. And now they're looking at movies and calling them rotten movies. Rot 10. Toro, because rot backwards says 10. And tor, to torque, the Taurus that they talk about, our hips are the Tauruses, hips and ships, they even call it the pelvis. Some people call it the E-world of Elvis. But I know L is her, and this is a screw, so he's screwing with his hips. Elvis, hips. In French, you don't want to get poked by the hips. But the card spade, or to spade a dog. But if you use the point of the spade inside the heart, if you take a look at the heart and the spade, hey man, they're having sex together. You can see the ass is split apart on those 2 letters. Because the heart comes together in 2 parts. It's not the 2 hearts that broke apart, it's the 2 hearts that were never together. You came together to become 1 heart and 1 spade. The heart has 1 eye, the spade has the other eye, you put them together, they become one. So automatically you're part of this world. So part of whatever's in your head here is already numbered in their world. And the minute you look at a social insurance number, your bank account number, you count money, right away they know your number is counting. And the matrix picks it up. But which matrix? Because there's more than one. There's integrations. I call one of the matrix the Buddha. The other one I call the Allah, for the alley-oop. What these matrix do is they read the system major matrix that comes in, that controls the outside around the universe of our system, that nobody can change, and this is the world inside. The only reason we don't see, there's 24 hours a day, only 8 hours a night usually, right? Because we don't see the moon. Here's the day. And when it comes to night, that's the day. When it comes to night, you see this amount at night. By the time it turns around, the night is closed. The night is gone. It turns around, then it becomes night again. Night. It's never opened larger than that. There's reasons for it, because if I take this edge, okay, and I take my 2 fingers, all I can get it to is this. Look how much open space there is. Is there any space I can go into and put it? Absolutely not. It doesn't fit. So what I would have to do is to take this, and now it fits perfectly. But you notice one side of it is a flat back. The other side is on the angle. If I put them both on the angle, you want to see if they're both going to work? Then we're going to shows that angle for that size, and we put them in here, and look what happens. It doesn't work. The question is, did I cut them properly? Well, if I cut them any more, the question is, what's the degree of the angle of my fingers that they open that this doesn't fit? And where was I getting with this? Got to stop right there. So anyways, I bought this bottle because of the images in each corner, because they capitalized their name. They made the 12 larger than the words that go beside it, which says aged and year. And then on the front, you take a look right over here. This is a string. This is the cross. Do you notice the way the X is more on the bottom than towards the top? Because there's a difference. Every one of these is a different time zone. Each one of these means something different. Here's man. These are his arms in the air, just above his head. And these are his feet, chained up to the ground. You don't think we're chained up to the ground? I want to see you jump up. Just jump up. I didn't say come down. Just jump up. Shit, you're back on the ground again? Because you're chained to the ground and you believe you're chained to the ground. That's why runners who start to run, they feel like they're floating on air, because they remove that element of thought that I am. Yes, 100%. But don't forget, the 1/4 part of your mind can help you uplift yourself from the inability to escape the weight and the gravity. Small percentage, but everything helps. When you feel a little bit lighter, oh fuck, I must be sick. I feel 3 pounds lighter, 2 pounds lighter, 1 pound lighter. It's the effect of the knowledge. When a horse runs around the track in thoroughbred horse racing, sometimes they put weights because the horse is too good. Now somebody would ask a question. The horse weighs 1,200 pounds and you put 4 pounds in his saddle. How is that going to bother him? He knows it's there. He feels it on its body. It's extra. Depending on how that horse thinks, how that driver runs that horse, is how that horse is going to end up with that extra weight. It's not only in the mind of the jockey, but it's in the mind of all of us. Raphael 7286, thanks. Oh my God. The last thing I want to say, won. Hold on a second. Who won? Oh, now it's won. 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 Wow. I thought it was one. 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 So, take away the O, and now we've got the O, the letter O. We've got water in French. N-E says birth. Or can say Eno. You can say Enzo. You can say Neo, like Neo Anderson. Neo Anderson and Mr. Smith. Anderson and Smith. Angels and spirits. Bad spirits, of course. Matrix spirits. Taking up a new mind and a new body. Can they actually vibrate into another body? I believe that if we can vibrate ourselves enough, we're going to feel like we're floating. How do I know this? Because I went into some of those machines in Walt Disney World, and that's what happened when I was there. You got to test the waters everywhere, my friends. Stupid games end up to tell you, oh my God, I can't believe it. Before I end it now, just to tell you this, Monopoly is 40. But if you run around the board, you run around the Monopoly board on 4 corners. The corner counts for 4. The property counts for 2. If I start from here, go up and around, it's 40 from this dot here. But if I move to this dot over here and back to here, which is the bottom row, and I go around, it's 48, and this one's 40. 40 by 48. And you know what's funny about that? 99% of the pallets that are distributed with whatever that is on them are all 40 by 48 inches. So what am I doing? What am I trying to connect? Everything. It's almost like saying I can build a car, connect electricity. I can do those things. I can do all those things. Just give me the instructions. You don't give me any instructions, I know nothing. But eventually in time, I'm going to know a little. But if I don't do enough of it, I may remember, but if it comes time to hooking up a 220, I won't be able to hook up to 220. Well, can't really say that. The Twin Towers at 110 stories each is 220 between the two. That's a voltage of electricity. No wonder they came down. You know why they came down? Because that stupid antenna was able to see out over the rooftops of 45 miles. 45 miles, 8 directions of 45 degrees, 45 by 45. You tell me that it's not about 1800. 1800, 180 is half. That means whatever they're overdoing with their antenna, they're, to me, able to break into any communication that's below the Twin Towers up to, let's say, 4 to 5 miles. Because when they say 45 miles, screw that. I'm going to take off something and say 4 to 5 miles. They say 10, add another 0, it's 100. They say a million, take off 2 zeros. What floor are you on? 10? In the 0 position? Are you in the 10 position? Are you in the 100 position? Are you in the 1,000 position? With love. Because every 1,000 gets to own 3 zeros. And then a million gets to own 3 zeros and 3 zeros, in which 1,000 is owning 3 zeros. 1 owns itself. 1 will always work out perfect all the time. If I take 9 and I take 5 away, it's going to be 4. 5 and 4 makes the 9. But if I went to the second section of tens, where my number was 6 and I took it away from 5, I have to go and borrow it from the next number. So that number is going to be 1 less in the 100 section. But it was 1 more before I did any multiplication at all. Before I let this go, you want to go to the 10 world? Number 6, number 4. You want to go to the 7 world? Number 4, number 3. Number 6, number 1. You make things equal to what the world is. Why we can't use all these numbers is you can't go east-west as you're going north-south. Can't cross over your same path. What was I actually explaining? So instead of having 9 numbers, forget about the one in the center, because that's the one holding the hand of the clock. So take away 9, we're down to 8. So we have 8 all around equals to 200, or a bicentennial, or 8 all around. Take away 2. East-west or north-south? Or is it southeast to southwest? Well, this angle and this angle, I don't remember the... So where was I? 7, 10, 6 and 4, 1 and 6. Wow, I was... Let me just stop for a second. One and 3, 1 and 4. Oh, have you ever looked at the word is? If you write the word is down, it looks like 15, right? It looks like 15. The I is the 9th letter. The S is the 19th letter. It says 919, which is 9 and 1 is 10. 9 and 1 is 10. Now I remember where I was. And now I lost it again. I hate it. 9 and 1 is 10, 9 and 1 is 10, 6 and 4, 3 and 7. What was I thinking? We wanted to go, oh, right, okay. So now we have 9 numbers in the 9 legs of the cat, which also, the center value is 7.4 out of 36 numbers. Fuck that. And, well, it's just too many things. I can't do them all. Stay to one thing. So anyways, figure out the 6 card, okay? That's your 6 card. Then there's 3 in the center. The 2 north and south you don't use. You use the heart in the center. That's 1. That's your heart. But if it was the hand on the clock, you wouldn't use it. But you don't need to control your heart. So now you have 3 on the left, 1, 4, and 7. You got 3 on the right, 3, 6, and 9. If you connect them together, you have 3 and 3 connected to 1. 3 to 1 is 4, 3 to 1 is 4. 3, 1, and 3 is 7. 3, 1 is 4, 3, 1 is 4 is 8. You have 7 and 8, which says God's heart. Something about the G. There's a lot of things about that G point. Raphael, 7286. If it didn't come out the way you understood it, here's the top, here's the bottom. There's 9. But you ain't using these. You're only using this one. But you can't do it that way. So you take away these, and you take away these. Now it turns into the 5 card. So what are you using? This one is your heart, and these are your 4 corners. And these are these 4 corners. The corners of 4, 4, the corners of 4, 8. The corners of 4, 4, the corners of 4, 8. Always 2 ways. This way and this way. North, south, east, west. Just like I told you, either the card is this way or the card is this way. When it's this way, this one is gone and this one is gone. Do you know what goes in here? The 2 card. The 2 card goes here, and you end up with your 911 because it connected the posts of the Twin Towers, if you want to look at it that way. Twin Towers, 254th day, 2, 5, and 4, building 7, 9, and 11. 7 and 9 is 16, and 11 is 27, 2 and 7 is 9, back to 911. Thank you. Raphael, 7286.